Synopsis of the books of the Bible. 1 Corinthians. By JND Darby. New Testament. 1 Corinthians. Chapter 13. Something more excellent than gifts, love, as conformity to the nature of God, acting and feeling according to his likeness. Nevertheless, there was something more excellent than all gifts. They were the manifestations of the power of God and of the mysteries of his wisdom, love, that of his nature itself. They might speak with all tongues, they might have prophecy, the knowledge of mysteries, the faith which can remove mountains, they might give all their possessions to feed the poor, and their bodies to be tortured. If they had not love, it was nothing. Love was conformity to the nature of God, the living expression of what he was, the manifestation of having been made partakers of his nature. It was the acting and feeling according to his likeness. This love is developed in reference to others, but others are not the motive, although they are the object. It has its source within, its strength is independent of the objects with which it is occupied. Thus it can act where circumstances might produce irritation or jealousy in the human heart. It acts according to its own nature in the circumstances, and by judging them according to that nature, they do not act upon the man who is full of love, except so far as they supply occasion for its activity, and direct its form. Love is its own motive. In us, participation in the divine nature is its only source. Communion with God himself alone sustains it through all the difficulties it has to surmount in its path. This love is the opposite of selfishness and of self-seeking and shuts it out, seeking the good of others, even as to its principle, as God has sought us in grace. See Ephesians 4 verse 32 and Ephesians 5 verses 1 and 2. What a power to avoid evil in oneself, to forget all in order to do good. The qualities of divine love, the time and place of its exercise. It is worthy of note that the qualities of divine love are almost entirely of a passive character. The first 8 qualities pointed out by the Spirit are the expression of this renunciation of self. The 3 that follow, mark that joy in good which sets the heart free also from that readiness to suppose evil, which is so natural to human nature, on account of its own depth of evil, and that which it also experiences in the world. The last 4 show its positive energy, which, the source of every kind thought, by the powerful spring of its divine nature, presumes good when it does not see it, and bears with evil when it sees it, covering it by long-suffering and patience, not bringing it to light, but burying it in its own depth, a depth which is unfathomable, because love never changes. One finds nothing but love where it is real, for circumstances are but an occasion for it to act and show itself. Love is always itself, and it is love which is exercised and displayed. It is that which fills the mind, everything else is but a means of awakening the soul that dwells in love to its exercise. This is the divine character. No doubt the time of judgment will come, but our relationships with God are in grace. Love is his nature. It is now the time of its exercise. We represent him on earth in testimony. The unchangeable and everlasting character of divine love. In that which is said of love in this chapter, we find the reproduction of the divine nature, except that what is said is but the negative of the selfishness of the flesh in us. Now the divine nature changes not and never ceases, love therefore abides ever. Communications from God, the means by which they are made, knowledge, as attained here below, according to which we apprehend the truth in part only, although the whole truth is revealed to us, for we apprehend it in detail, so that we have never the whole at once. The character of our knowledge being to lay hold of different truths singly, all that is characterized by being in part, passes away. Love will not pass away. A child learns, he rejoices too in things that amuse him. When he becomes a man, he requires things in accordance with his intelligence as a man. It was thus with tongues and the edification of the assembly. The time, however, was coming when they should know even as they were known, not by communications of truths to a capacity that apprehended the truth in its different parts, but they should understand it as a whole in its unity. Now love subsists already, there are faith and hope also. Not only shall these pass away, but even now, here below, that which is of the nature of God is more excellent than that which is connected with the capacity of human nature, even though enlightened by God, and having for its object the revealed glory of God.